All right, let's begin with a salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I invite Murtaza Naqvi to recite, do the tilawat. Hold the mic. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمده ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. صلوات.
So, few announcements. As we all know, there are only a few more nights left for the first 10 or 11 days of Muharram. So the program, as it is right now, there'll be a program tonight, tomorrow, on Thursday, and on the actual day of Ashura, there will be the program upstairs, and then the English program will continue on Saturday evening. And looking for, give me 1 second. The other announcement that I have is, of course, the link and the ID for Slido. Those of you who have the app, I get asked every day, but I'm not sure if you're getting any questions, Maulana, but the ID for those of you who are listening online or those who are here right now, it's 814-3443. Again, 814-3443. I now invite Abbas Kazmi to recite salawat. Allahumma salli ala.
صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. लाशा कासिम का नजर आया हसन याद आए लाशा कासिम का नजर आया हसन याद आए उस घड़ी रोए बहुते उस घड़ी रोए बहुते शह को हसन याद आए लाशा कासिम का नजर आया हसन याद आए लाशा कासिम का नजर आया हसन याद आए मेहंदी अरमानों की हाथों में लगा कर माने मेहंदी अरमानों की हाथों में लगा कर माने सेरा माथे पे है सेरा माथे पे सजाया तो حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے۔ ہائے قاسم نہ تیرے ٹکڑے بدن کے ہوتے، ہائے قاسم نہ تیرے ٹکڑے بدن کے ہوتے، رو کے سینے سے ہے، رو کے سینے سے لگا یا تو حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے۔ ٹکڑے قاسم کے چنے اور اے ابا میں ڈالے، ٹکڑے قاسم کے چنے اور اے ابا میں ڈالے، باندھ کر لاشا ہے، باندھ کر لاشا اٹھا یا تو حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے۔ ہائے شبیر جو قاسم کا جنازہ لائے، ہائے شبیر جو قاسم کا جنازہ لائے، زخمی تیروں کے ہے، زخمی تیروں کے جنازے میں حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے، لاشا قاسم کا نظر آیا، حسن یاد آئے۔ صلوات
Please recite Surah Fatiha. گھوڑے سے جب کے کاس میں گل گو کا باغرا، گل پڑ گیا نہ بھی رائے مشکل کشا گرا، صف در جری بہادر و شیر وغا گرا، خون میں نہا کے لخت دلے مجتبا گرا، گرتے ہی فوج ظلم کا مجمع باہم ہوا، زخمی پراہنر گئے فوج ستم ہوا، مارا کسی نے پشت پہ نیزے کو تان کے، کھٹکی سنانے ظلم کلیجے میں آن کے، کوئی تبر لگا گیا مظلوم جان کے، تیغا کسی کا چل گیا سر پر جوان کے، پہلو بھی دونوں ہاتھ بھی یک سر فگار تھے، دولہا کا ایک جسم تھا ہر بے ہزار تھے حضرت کو دی صدا کے چچا جان آئیے خادم ہوا حضور پہ قربان آئیے دنیا میں کوئی دم کا ہوں مہمان آئیے سر کاٹنے کا ہوتا ہے سامان آئیے جلاد پہنچتے دو پے کر لیے ہوئے قاتل کھڑے ہیں ہاتھوں میں خنجر لیے ہوئے دم توڑنے لگا جو یہ کہہ کر وہ دل فگار تب لو ظفر بجا صفے آدھا میں ایک بار دوڑے ادھر سے تیر باکف شاہ نامدار گھوڑوں سے روندنے لگے لاشے کو واوار سب ٹکڑے ٹکڑے سینہ پر نور ہو گیا ٹاپوں سے مرکبوں کے بدن چور ہو گیا گھوڑے سے جب کے کاس میں صلوات
In Karbala's realm, a tale of sorrow untold. Qasim ibn Hassan, a young hero so bold, nephew of Hussein with valor imbued, a letter from his father, a legacy pursued. Imam Hassan's words tied around his arm, a call to sacrifice, a faith to beck. With a trembling heart, Hussein did concede to let young Qasim on the battlefield lead. Though tender in years, his spirit was pure, thirsty and brave, his resolve would endure. Death is sweeter than honey, he proclaimed. In the face of darkness, his faith untamed. Gallantly he fought, with courage he soared. His battle cry echoed, a legend restored. The enemies quivered, they could not subdue. Qasim's spirit was with strength it would imbue. But a cowardly hand from behind did strike, a sword to his head like a thunder strike. Covered in blood he valiantly stood, with every breath he defended the good. 3 days of thirst his body grew weak, yet Qasim's determination it did not speak. As he fell from his horse, a cry ascends, "Uncle, come quickly, help me." Hussein and Abbas rushed to his side in search of Qasim, their hearts opened wide. Amidst the chaos, confusion reigned, horses trampled on him, his body stained. In pieces they found him, the beloved kin, a heart-wrenching sight, a world of sin. With heavy hearts they mourned their loss, a hero so young on Karbala's cross. In the annals of history his name does reside, Qasim the brave forever by Hussein's side. Though torn and broken, his spirit lives on, a beacon of courage in the darkness drawn. O Qasim, your sacrifice won't be in vain. In the hearts of the faithful, you'll forever reign. Your memory etched in every fear and every tear and plea, in the legacy of Karbala, forever free. And now I invite Maulana to address the majalis. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم كتابه المبين وقوله الحق أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي صلوات. We need a better salawat like this, more than this. Please go for a louder salawat. I know the ayam, the days are getting close to Ashura, and we have so many things to do. Alhamdulillah, the Azadari here in the New York and New Jersey, northeastern side, or you can call it the tri-state area. There are a lot of majalis going on. We have majalis of sisters in the morning or in the evening, and the children. And alhamdulillah, even in the vicinity of this, in Long Island, we have too many centers now, mashallah, more than one, more than two. So this multiplicity, this dispersion is actually really good because, like we said, the message of Karbala is there to be diffused as well as infused, right? If you remember the discussion we had before. So as much as these places will be spread out and will be reached to every person and every corner wherever we are living, we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this is one of the plan of Allah to spread the word of Karbala, and through that spread the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like we were discussing yesterday, that to get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to His wahdaniyah, to His reality, to His sifat, to His asma, to His attributes, we need to know which path lead us towards the zenith of the epitome of insan, or a human being, or a complete human being. And that path and that way to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what? Nothing but the imama and imam by himself. So continuing this discussion, although this discussion had a lot of prerequisites which we tried to discuss in our last 7 speeches. And I don't know how much I was able to deliver or able to make my brothers and sisters to understand what I'm trying to say here. That's why we had this Slido thing, which Brother Ali is always mentioning, and always have a kind of a look, questioning me with his look that, am I getting questions or not? Which is, I do get questions, but it's really, it's sparsely, so it's not all every day. It's not, even if I get the question, it's almost like sometimes 1 or 2 a day. So it's not like that I want a lot of questions, but my only, concern is this, that the subject is difficult, delivering is really difficult, understanding is a little bit difficult for you, but I have faith, and mashallah, you brothers and sisters, despite of your age, the way you look at me and listen to me, it looks like that you are paying attention and you're trying to understand something. It is my, this is, I am not able to deliver it the right way. It's my kami, or my, something lacking in me. But inshallah, I believe that you are paying attention. The only one thing which I had in my mind, maybe sometimes what happens is this, that people are afraid of questioning. There are too many reasons behind that. I'll give you an example. Sometimes, you go to a doctor, and doctor is talking to you, kind of educating you how your physical was, how your blood work was, and probably, inshallah, if everything is fine, that's fine. If you have something going on, he or she is going to recommend some medicine. and, explain everything to you. But sometimes the patient is afraid of asking questions. It actually happened in my family. So I used to tell my family to go there and ask any question you want, because this doctor is trained for that. This doctor is trained to explain you what is the problem and how your physical came out, how your blood work came out, and explain it in a really casual way, in a really informal way, not in a scientific way, even not using the scientific terminologies. The doctors who are sitting here would back me on this, that they're trained to explain patient the disease or anything going on with him or her in a really understandable language. They are prohibited to use the terminologies, medical terminologies. Although even if they have to use the terminology, they will explain that term, that's what it means, right? So kind of a similar thing is happening here, right? We're trying to understand a lot of things, and a lot of terminologies are being said here. But my concern is this, that maybe brothers and sisters are not asking questions because they think that, okay, if I ask something, so the answer for this thing, that why don't I ask any question from the doctor, is this, that, or I don't know how much I can censor this, that the doctor would think that I'm a dumb person, I don't know anything about the diseases or medicine. So now, if anybody is thinking in this way, please don't think in this way, right? A person, this disease or this medical condition or this physical condition he or she is going through is a real thing, is what is or she is going through in his or her life. The doctor has to explain it the way so he or she would know, the patient would know. Similarly, these things, although they look really difficult, and it's really difficult to understand the terms, understand the concept, but we are all living these things. We are all kind of concerned. They are all included in our everyday life as a Muslim. That's why I brought this discussion here. But again, there are a lot of discussions happen, like when I go back home with my family and other people, and sometimes I get the feedback. I don't get the feedback from a slide. I think we need to change some software. You need to bring a better one with some, more color in it. We have only one green color. Please recite salawat. So if it's true what I'm thinking, please don't be ashamed. First of all, I chose this thing because when you ask a question, it's an anonymous, right? You don't write your name. You can write your name, but usually it comes anonymous. Nobody knows anybody's name. So whenever you ask any question, I cannot tell who is asking me this question. So if you have any question, because there was something happened after Masjid yesterday, one brother asked me a question that, Maulana, you said this and I was not able to understand this. So I answered him that, brother, I didn't say that. That was in the Salam and Marsiya. So sometimes what happens, the concepts and terms and the things get mixed up. Alhamdulillah, that's a really good thing that even when I go back and see sometimes my Instagram feeds and Facebook feeds, you see feed after the feed of ulama reciting majalis, noha. So, the majalis are going on like probably to their full extent, and we are probably listening to a lot of majalis in our day. Even those brothers who are working, they are listening to different majalis from Pakistan, from Karachi, from Lahore, different areas, and even Canada and US. Different speakers are saying different things, and there are a lot of difficult concepts are being presented there. And they're all new concepts, they are difficult concepts, and we are just kind of like bombarded with all these things in these 10 days. So sometimes what happens that we get overwhelmed. Not only overwhelmed, we have the capacity to absorb few things, right? So my recommendation would be this, that if you see one speaker, choose him. First of all, go to a live Azadari and live Majlis. No matter where you are. No matter if you're living in a place where you go to a center where only 2 people sitting there. No, go there. This is kind of a responsibility to every azadar to go to azadari, to a majlis physically. That's really important. And after that, if you want to learn in the course of your whole life. I can like assure you, all the majalis which are happening in these 10 days can last like months and months in your lifetime. They're all recorded, they're all there, you can go there, you can go visit the websites, or if they have like, the center's websites, and you can take them out and you can listen to them. And they're all good. A lot of good content is being said from the member. When I was your age, these things were not happening. Not because of social media, it is so accessible, there were not that many majalis. Even the content was not that great. So if you see from the course of like 20 to 30 years, you can see the intellect, the collective intellect of the Shia Qawm, or the group of Shias, or Shias, the Ummah of Shia, has increased. That's why these brothers, these ulama are sitting on the minbar and talking about these things. So having said this, please don't, first of all, don't shy about asking questions. Second of all, try to like kind of make a mental note. We're not making physical notes. We don't have pencil and pens because I think we don't believe in qirtas qalam, right? So we are following some. Oh, also everything is electronic now. Okay, please recite a salawat. So qirtas and qalam, they were right when they said he doesn't need it. Please recite another salawat. If they had tablets at that time, it would be easier. There won't be any Thursday, the waqia of Thursday, right? Anyways, that's a sad story in the history of Islam, but inshallah, everybody knows. I mean, those who are kind of aged like me, they know, but not the youngsters. So inshallah, we try to start our discussion, and please, even not only questions, please comments as well. If you are not understanding anything and I'm thinking that I come here and I throw a bunch of things at you and you get nothing, what's the use of it, right? Of course we get sawab, but then it'll be only sawab. I was about to say to Brother Ali when he was asking me that, did you get any questions? Should I say that? What do you call that? The number. So I was about to say that, just say that number, it has sawab, just to say that number. So we can just do slider for the niyat of sawab. So because I'm not getting any questions, which is okay, either like, probably there's another possibility which Brother Ali said, that alhamdulillah, everything is understood and everybody is moving forward. If that's the case, then alhamdulillah, we say alhamdulillah, because this is a really, really difficult subject. This is a subject which is actually Hawzawi subject. Well, I brought you in front of you brothers, so we can, like I said, as the collective intellect of Shias is increasing, this is what my belief is, that could be one kind of another push. Sometimes we have to push ourselves in some things. Those brothers who go to gym and they, do the bench press or whatever, I don't do it, that's why I'm saying whatever. You can see that. If they have instructor, or if they see someone, they just say, okay, one more, right? We have to make a push. That push actually does do a really good thing to your body, because you think that you cannot push more, but you can. Similarly, in the intellectual exercise, we need to push ourselves to some different limits. So the other limits and other doors will open for us. Please recite another salawat. So starting with the story, like we promised, that there was a Sahabi of Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. Please recite salawat. His name was Abu Basir, and he's really like mashhur. If you go, a lot of brothers might have heard his name. He's a good Rabi, he's a good Sahabi of Imam, a really, really mu'min person. he and Imam were visiting the qabr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that time, and Imam kind of took a test of the Shias or the people of Medina at that time. So he asked Abu Basir, so Imam and Abu Basir both entered the tomb of Rasulullah. Imam asked Abu Basir to ask these people who are coming from this door if they can see me or not. And when Imam asked that, Abu Basir asked people, do you see Abu Jafar, Imam Muhammad Baqar alayhi salam? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. All of them said, no, we don't see him. Although he was right next to Abu Basir. But yeah, with the ijaz of Imam was testing people and trying to make a point. Inshallah, we're going to come to that point right now. Then there's one blind person, a really good Sahabi of Imam Muhammad Baqir, a really good mu'min who had a congenital eye problem and he was blind when he was even a kid. He never saw a ray of light in his life. He entered the masjid and Imam asked Abu Basir to ask him that if he can see me or not. Abu Basir asked this person, this blind person, that is Imam Muhammad Baqar in here or not? And he said, yes, he's right there. A total blind person, a congenital blind person who never saw any light, any ray of light in his life, he said, Imam is right, is standing right there. So Imam asked, or Abu Basir asked, how do you know that Imam is there? Because Imam's wujud is mujassam, is embodied light. The light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is radiating really high and far, is embodied in the wujud of Imam. So how can you miss that? So why did Imam make this test? It is related to our topic, brothers and sisters. Even if we have some physical deformities or deficiencies, but if our qalb, our heart, our self, our nafs, the nufus we were talking about, has crossed those levels, we'll be able to understand and see Imam. And that's what happened to this person. And on the other hand, those people who had working eyes and they can see everything else in this world were not able to see Imam. So Imam, after this mu'jiza, after this miracle, was making this point that if you want to know me, if you want to know the imamah, if you want to know my imamat, you have to have seeing heart. A heart which is alive. A heart which is able to see even if your bodily parts are deformed or deficient. This is a big lesson here for us, brothers and sisters. Even we are not able to do anything, physically go to Karbala, physically go to Hajj. We have to go to, when we say that, okay, we're not able to go to Karbala or Hajj, but every summer I'm going to Disneyland, then that's a different thing, right? Just don't go to Disneyland 2 summers and go to Karbala. Or at least just switch one time, at least in my life. Especially, I cannot emphasize enough on this, that how important it is to send our children for these ziyarat. I just met our brother and he's going to a ziyarat with a group. We have a group. I don't get paid by them and I'm not promoting them. A group called Al-Asar, and they are really good brothers. They take good care of you. Some of the members of my family are going there too, and those who went there had a really good experience. A lot of people went there and they became talabi because of that. Well, probably a red light for the parents here, right? Oh man, he's gonna go to Al-Asar and he's gonna become a qummi afterwards. No, don't worry about this. If you have 2-3 kids, well, nowadays we don't have more than that. Well, if you have 2-3 kids, at least send one for Islam, right? Sometimes this happens, right? Okay, Maulana, what's going to happen to our youth? Maulana, what should we do? Baba, only Maulana cannot do this. Maulana just come over here, talk, and nobody even asks a question, and he leaves. We have to do it. I am responsible for my kids. I am worried about my kids as much as you guys are, because they are my responsibility. I have to fulfill these responsibilities, brothers and sisters. Islam is mine and your responsibility, both of us. Maybe more for me because I have this libas and I have title that I went there and, I'm supposed to dedicate my life for that, but it doesn't mean that it's not other people's responsibility, right? Just to give a small story, I went to a tabligh somewhere and I have like some relatives there, and they bought 2-3 cars. They were good cars, and I said, well, that's mashallah, they look the same. They're 2-3 cars. They said it was a good leasing. Sometimes they say this like what you call like good interest rate or something. Good opportunity to buy some cheap cars, at least cheap cars, not to buy. Well, you cannot buy anything in US. So they leased it, and right after that, he said, okay, Maulana, but you cannot lease, right? Because we leased it, but you cannot do it. I said, okay, so I think I have some other Sharia, and you, brother, have some other Sharia. According to your Sharia, you can have a leased car which you are going to pay interest on. Again, don't ask me that if it's halal or haram. I'm not talking about halal and haram. I'm talking about the mindset, right? From the beginning of our majalis, the point is this, that what our mindset is. I'm not, na'uzubillah, taunting this brother. This is how we think. Maulana, you cannot lease a car, but yeah, mashallah, I leased my car, my brother leased my car, my wife leased a car. We have 5 leased cars at home, not one which is bought. It's okay. Again, don't ask me if it's halal or haram, because again, it's not that easy answer. But if you think that it is not jaiz, if you think it's a riba, how can you say that, okay, we can do it? Thank you for praising our cars, but you cannot do it. So inshallah, after few talks here, when we leave this 10 days, at least we change our mindset. At least we think of changing our mindset. We cannot change our mindset in 10 days. Maybe there are few brothers who can. Maybe there are some brothers who take longer time to change their mindset like me. So at least we think in this way, okay, whatever we were doing in our lives, whatever we were doing with Islam, with Azadari, let's take a different look at it. Let's try to go a little bit different path. I'm not saying that it's not working out, but maybe it's not working out the way it should be worked out. For that many years, we're doing Azadari, but the end product is not as good as it should be, because Azadari is really powerful. Matamdari and all these things, the julus is really powerful. How is it powerful? Just one of my brother from Canada sent me a video. You probably have seen that. That these, I wouldn't say Nasabi, Qasatin and these people of which detach themselves from the Islamic Republic, they are protesting against what? Julus-e-Azha. They had a fake protest against one government, and they were protesting against their government because they are Iranians. Now they are protesting against what? Julus-e-Azha. First of all, we need to be really vigilant here. These people are nothing, maybe paid, maybe, they had nothing to do, and then they were just paid and they came on the street and started doing all these, mischiefs. So we shouldn't get indulged physically or, do something which is going to harm our majalis-e-azha and julus-e-azha in the long run. We have to take the legal route and ask them, that, see, they're violent, they're coming to us, they are hitting us, so they will be banned. Right? Sometimes that's what happens. They just instigate you and you get into fight or something and they say, okay, this Julus Azhar is making so much trouble. We are the rulers here, you cannot do anything. There's one point. The second point is this: if they were coming out and they had problem with Julus Azhar Imam Hussein, why did they have a problem with that? And those people who were doing matam and everything, were they only Iranians? No, they have problem with Imam Hussein, brothers and sisters. They have problem with Rasulullah. They have problem with Islam. Not those people only. Those people who are using them. Never ever forget that. Not na'udhu billah, because Islam is threatening to take their land, like they propagate against Islam. Because they have no intellect. Remember that thing that Imam Khomeini said about Shahid Mutahari, that when you don't have intellect, when you cannot talk, you come and kill. You take the route of violence. Anyone who is violent against Islam, they're afraid of Islam. After what happened here, I don't want to repeat that. The local people, they were afraid of Islam because the Muslims were portrayed like this. Oh man, anybody, you hear Allahu Akbar, it means you are gone. Right? Right? But these people, they realize it. No, it is all lies. It's all lies. Yeah, there are some fanatics. Yeah, there are some other people. Maybe they are mentally diseased who want to destroy themselves and other people. Not Islam. Not a single time Imam Hussein said in Karbala that I want to start the war. Not a single time he said, I'm going to start the battle right now. The way they portray Muslims, that they left Shahada and they just want to go, kill and get killed, is all lies. If you go to, again, the Karbala is going to come and help us out. Tell me when did Imam Hussein say that, okay, you know what, they're all there, we're going to go and kill them. As a matter of fact, remember when Imam Hussein met only 1,000 people with Hur? Some of them suggested that, okay, you know what, we should start fighting with them. So before the other people come and help them out, we'll be victorious. Imam didn't start the fight at that time. Even at the day of Ashura, Umar Sa'ad al-Ain said that you be witness that I am the one who is throwing the first arrow to Hussein. Why? Because when you cannot answer what Hussein is asking you, you just want to cut his head. That's what they want to do with us. We don't have to be violent. We don't have to be hitting. I saw that some brother was hitting. Don't hit. We don't hit people. If I hit this mic, what's going to happen? There will be a loud sound. It's not going to become insan. These people are not human beings. If they have some, insaniyat in them, you can talk to them and they can do tawbah and come back to the right path. If they are not like this, anybody who is dancing in front of Julus Azhar, he is not or she is not a human being. We shouldn't waste our time on that. But we have to be vigilant about these things. Please recite a salawat. Allahu Akbar. Ya Rasulullah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So coming back to our discussion, we discussed that how important Imam is to take us. As a matter of fact, Imam by himself is a path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not to be mistaken or have any doubt here. It doesn't mean that me and you cannot have our personal connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't mean that. What it means is this, that to connect to Allah, the route we have to take is imama and through imamat or imam. If anybody who takes other route and says that he found Allah, he's mistaken. And we have the examples of that. You go, these people who were made by enemies or made by who are against Imam Hussein, who are against Islam, and they were given a version of Islam which is kind of engineered in some other places. What they were doing, what they knew about Allah, that Allah means that I just worship Allah, anybody who doesn't worship Allah, I'm going to cut the head of it. Like Daesh and Taliban, in old days Taliban, or Salafis or Wahhabis. That my version of Islam is the right version, nobody listens to it or accept me, there is no way that I'm going to have a dialogue with him, I'm going to get rid of him. That's what happens when they try to go to Allah without this route. And if a person is saying that I found Imam Hussein, I found the route to Allah, but he didn't find Allah, then he didn't find Imam Hussein. I come to majalis, and when I have majalis, there are like at least 300 people in a room. In the same room, when I'm reading namaz, there are only 10 people. This kind of Imam Hussein, this kind of Azadari is not connected to Allah. Remember, this is our mental construct. If this Imam Hussein is not making me come to the congregational prayers, it's not pushing me that, okay, I read one namaz at home, and when I read it with 10 more brothers, it is 70 times more. These are ahadiths not for our Sunni brothers and sisters. It's for us. I used to go to my masjid in Pakistan. In Dhuhr we had only 2 saf. In Isha we had 4 or 5. On Eid or Eidain namaz, that masjid was filled and people were reading namaz outside the masjid. So we had that many Shias in that area. Again, remember that we just kind of, we say that this British, when they came, they divided and rule. That's what their slogan or whatever that is. We have divided Islam amongst each other. We gave Quran, Rasulullah, namaz and all these to our Ahl Sunnat brothers, and we took just this Azadari. There's no connection. When there's no connection between, if you cut my hand and there's no connection of my hand with my brain, what's going to happen? It's a dead hand. It looks like a hand. All the fingers, even the fingernails would be there, but it's not connected to my brain. If our Azadari is not taking us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His love, and to the tranquil soul, and to the soul which is Razi, and of Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Razi, then that's not Azadari. I'm sorry to say, maybe it's really harsh, these are harsh words. I'm making my full effort, so you will invite me next time. Please recite another salawat. It doesn't mean that I don't like you people, I do love you, but maybe you think something else from next year. Please recite another salawat. But again, these things don't put us in despair, brothers and sisters. Okay, I made a mistake, I correct myself. I didn't come for congregational prayers. Next time I'll try to. At least these last 3 days, just for Imam Hussein's sake, I'll read namaz with all other brothers. How about that? I'm doing a really good job. I'm doing alam, I'm doing nazar, I'm doing everything. I'm doing a lot of efforts. I'm hitting my chest so hard that it's red now. with some internal bleeding, it's all good. It shows your love to your Imam Hussein. But inshallah, believe me, let's take my word here, Imam would be really happy seeing you reading namaz together. Or, na'udhu reading namaz at all. Unfortunately, sometimes some mu'mineen don't even read namaz, but they are mu'mineen. They don't believe in khums, zakat, they are still mu'mineen. Yeah, on the iman level, on the theoretical iman level, you are mu'min, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Imam Hussein wants more than that from you and me. So, moving forward, I'll just take a hadith. Please, please recite salawat. From Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. Please recite salawat. Talking about Imam. Right? So we talked about Imam yesterday, that he's the path towards Allah. Another characteristic which is concerned with our topic and concerned with our lives, and inshallah we're going to move on to something else in our last 2 or 3 speeches which are remaining. I think 3 more. Today we are going to focus that the Imam, the marifat of Imam is important, brothers and sisters. More than that, when you know the knowledge of Imam and what Imamah is following Imam's commands. And this is the focus of today's majlis. So, first come to Imam Muhammad Baqir and ask him that what Imam is. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. إنما يعرف الله عز وجل ويعبده من عرف الله وعرف إمامه منا أهل البيت. إنما يعرف الله. إنما, when إنما comes, it's a hasr. It's a word that only and only. يعرف الله عز وجل. Only that person. Inna is hasr. Ma. That person knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who do ibadah of him. وَيَعْبُدُوهُ man araf Allah, who does the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by knowing him. So the only marifat, the only knowledge of Allah comes when you do the ibadah of Allah, when you follow the rules of Allah, when you follow the sharia of Allah. Then only then you will be able to know what Allah is. وَعَرَفَ إِمَامَهُ. And when he knows Allah by doing the ibadah of Allah, he knows the Imam of Allah. Means Imam of Allah, the person who is appointed as Imam from Allah. Minna Ahlul Bayt. And that Imam is amongst us Ahlul Bayt. Arabic is a little bit difficult language. Just to give you in a simple translation, only that person who knows the Imam would do the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and would know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we are talking about these stages cannot be reached and cannot take us to the proximity of Allah, would not be able to introduce ourselves to the attributes of Allah, would not be able to us to acquire the attributes of Allah unless we believe in Imamat, unless we believe in Imam, unless we believe Imam minna Ahlul Bayt, Imam from the Ahlul Bayt of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please recite salawat. But when you know this Imam, what do you have to do with this Imam? Now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, please recite salawat, comes and helps us out. Asma'u wa ati'u liman walahu Allah al-amr. Listen to him and follow him. لمن ولاه الله الأمر ولاه الله الأمر. Anyone who is chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your amr, for your government, as his representative to rule you. Who is our ruler? Who is our ruler in our lives? If we are Shia, that should be Imam, right? We believe in Imamah. This is the main bifurcation happening in Islam, right? The non-Muslims come and talk about what happened to Islam, what Sunnis are, what Shias are. We at least need to know that we believe in Imamah, the system of Imamah, the representative which is chosen by Allah through Rasulullah, or Rasulullah chose because Allah asked him to choose that Ali is the wali of Allah, Ali is the Imam, and his progeny is our Imam. That's what we are, right? This is what Shia is. Not only a person who is wearing black and doing matam. Our religion is based on intellectual basis, brothers and sisters. It's based on a system. A system, like I was reading this hadith yesterday, that this Imam is not only to link you to Allah, but he is here in this world to help you in this worldly affairs, to make your societies, our society, our community should be built on the concept of Imamah. If I am Shia and a Mu'min and my community is built on liberal democracy, then it's a problem. There's a problem. Maulana, I am a Shia, I love Imam Hussain, but the best system, economic system is capitalism. There's a disconnection here. This is something is not making sense. This is not a system which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you and me. It's human mental construct, and you can see the problems with these systems. Communism, capitalism, socialism, any ism. I talked about the isms just last year too, I remember that. The one ism I'm not going to say. I'm going to get in trouble for that. Please recite salawat. All the isms come here to distract us. These are the same gods of wood and stones which Kuffar Makkah had. All these systems. If I don't believe in the system of wilaya, then Rasulullah said, believe in it. اسمعوا وأطيعوا لمن ولاه الله الأمر فإنه نظام الإسلام. Why? إنه, who goes to a person, because innahu, this Imam, this representative is the nizam of Islam. He himself, he is not making a nizam right now. He is not making a system right now. He himself is a system of Islam. That's why we said, even if Imam Ali is on the minbar of Kufa as a Khalifa, he is the ruler. If he is not sitting, he is not Khalifa and sitting in his house and somebody else is Khalifa, still he is our Imam. I don't care how many types of government you make in this world. My Imam is Imam Zaman. He is alive, I am alive, my religion is alive. I'm not confused. I have no shak where I'm going. I don't need other people's mercy that, oh, you are Shia, oh, a lot of people killed you, right? Come to my country. A lot of people killed you, okay, come, I'll give you some money. No. Just like Imam Hussain is not bechare, I am not bechare. I am not a person that people just give charity to. These things we read in Masahib, but they are important things. Even at that time when Bibi Zainab and all the prisoners of Karbala were going in Sham, in Syria, people were giving them sadaqah, and Bibi Zainab said, no, you cannot eat it, it's haram on you. Why? Because Allah Ta'ala didn't make us for this. We're not going to live on other people's charity because they're feeling sorry for us. It doesn't mean that you say, you go outside, you leave your job and everything. I say, Maulana, inshallah, I'm going to go to upstate New York and Allah Ta'ala is going to give me Mana Salva. No, please. I just bring you there and probably it looks like I pull you back. When I say that, everything has to be gradual. Does it mean that I'm just going to get up from here and I just leave everything, cut everything off of this system? No, you cannot do it. Even imams didn't do it. How many imams lived in the system of Taghut? How many? All of them. All of them. They lived it, right? We have to go back and see what their seerah was. Did they accept this system? Or there was no other chara, there was no other way to live in this, without that system? Or there was a planning going on for a bigger plan, for the dhuhur, by educating our Shias, by educating Muslims. When I say Shia, because I believe every Muslim, every real Muslim is a Shia. Those who are not introduced to Imam Hussain, those who are not introduced to Wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen, because maybe it was our problem that we were not able to explain it to them. We love Imam Hussain and Imam Ali just to na'uzubillah. Again, I'm going like really, if I go really high, please just bring me down. Just to make other people mad. It's as simple as that. Just to make them mad, I say Ya Ali Madad. I don't believe in Ya Ali Madad. No, of course not. When the problem comes to me, I don't go to Ya Ali. I don't go to Ali or Aulad Ali. I go somewhere else. But when this person, this brother, he said, no, you know what, this is shirk. I think Ali is just like the other people. No, at that time, no. Ali is above everyone. Yeah, he is. But do I believe that? How about I don't care about whatever people are saying about me? Do I believe that Ali is a'la than everyone else? Do I believe that if I go to Ali, he's going to solve all of my problems? Some of us, the Mu'mineen, they were like this. Just to give a small story because it becomes a really heat up here, right? This discussion. Please recite a salawat. I've heard it, I didn't read it, that when they were tossing Imam Khomeini here and there because he was saying that, okay, well, whoever is this is Taghut, I have the support of people don't want you, get out of my country. That's what he was saying, right? But this Taghut was tossing him in different places. So they said that in Najaf, at that time, the Saddam al-Mal'un was not the leader of Iraq. He was kind of like some other position. So he came to Imam Khomeini and he started threatening him that if you don't stop doing this, we're going to do this, we're going to throw you here and there. So probably Imam was reading Quran or Namaz. These people are always busy in these kind of things, right? They don't care about Saddam or whatever. So he threw his passport to him and said, do whatever you want to do with it. Go. It's not that easy, brothers and sisters. But alhamdulillah, we have people, we have ulama, and we still have these ulama and people like this. Again, everybody has their own limits. If I cannot go to the zenith of it, Imam Khomeini's seerah is like to the top of this iman and top of this his link to Imam Ali alayhi salam. If I don't have that much, at least have like 2% of that, 10% of that. According to my istata'at, according to my vessel, the vessel I have made, the vessel I said we should make when we follow this law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Follow this path of producing these different nufus, or finding these different nufus within ourselves. Well, I don't know if I think I don't have time for that, but let's see if I can start one more thought, and probably we'll be able to finish it tomorrow. Please recite an salawat. When you believe in Imam like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asks us that listen to him and follow him, then you are a Shia. Then you are an I am Shia, right? It goes both the ways, brothers and sisters. I'm not gonna elaborate because I said I'm just gonna start it and inshallah complete it tomorrow. It goes both the ways. When there's isma'u wa ati'u, when you have to listen and do the ita'at, then whatever your imam asks you to do, and I'm going to extend it a little bit, the representative of imam asks you to do, you should do that. So when Imam Ali asks you that we have a fitna in our neighbor, we have to go to all the Kufan people. We have to go and get rid of him. Don't tell me it's really hot. Don't tell me it's really cold. As a Shia, as a follower, I have to listen to him. And when Imam Hassan comes, and because of his strategy, because of his ilm, and because of his position which is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he is our leader, he is the person with whom we have to listen and we have to follow, no questions asked. Then when he said that with the same taghut, if I am writing a peace treaty, you have to follow me. Two contrasting ideas, apparent contrasting ideas. Same taghut, Imam Ali is asking to go and fight. Same taghut, Imam Hassan is saying, no, I'm signing a peace treaty, follow me. Shias or the followers drop the ball of this ita'at. And it's continuing till today, brothers and sisters. There are so many factors, we can talk about a lot of things. There are a lot of books, a lot of things have been said about the zuhur, why the zuhur is not happening, why the ghaibat happened. One of the probably most important thing is this. I didn't do the whole research, but whatever I have studied, is this that it's all up to us. When we listen to this small hadith that whatever our imams say, just listen and follow. The zuhur will be happening on this Friday. One of my my nephew was asking, is it gonna happen this Friday because it's Ashura? In some riwayat, it said that the zuhur is gonna happen on the Friday, or the Ashura would be on Friday, and when the zuhur will happen. It's gonna happen there, but most important thing is this, more important than that Ashura is falling on Friday or not, is this that, am I following this hadith of Rasulullah or not? Which he asked me to do 1400 years ago. Just listen and follow. Whatever he asks you to do. That's what the Tranquil Souls of Karbala did. Sama'ana wa ata'ana. More than that. Even what Imam wanted them to leave so they can save life. But probably from inside he wanted them to be join himself in this great opportunity to get the Shahada. So although when Imam is asking them to leave and save their lives, they knew they had the inner, they had the spiritual link to Imam. They knew that Imam wants this, that we are going to be with him tomorrow on the battlefield. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bi fina'ik. جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله الآخر الأهد من ليل زيارتكم Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn wa ala ashab al-Husayn. Among those people who knew that what Imam wants from inside, who were synced with the inner ruh of Imam, was a 13-year-old child. And not an ordinary child, brothers and sisters. He was an orphan of Imam Hassan. We just talked about Imam Hassan. Inshallah, we're going to elaborate a little bit about his life tomorrow. This 13-year-old Qasim ibn al-Hassan is the representative of Imam Hassan in Karbala. I don't know how, I know that he is the son of Imam, but I don't know how his mother raised him. His mother raised him in the way that when on Shab-e Ashur, a night like this, with darkness there, Imam was asking everyone to leave. He was trying to get up and see Imam. And at that time he said, like all other companions, that we cannot leave you, O our Imam. And at that time, Imam asked him, how do you see the Shahada, the martyrdom? And he said, it's sweeter than honey. This is the tarbiyah of his mother, brothers and sisters. Because he's Ibn Hassan, he has the shuja'at, he has these genes of an Imam, but the tarbiyah of the mother makes Qasim ibn Hassan, who is ready to go before his uncle and get martyred. He is passionate, he is happy, he is full of joy that I'm going to do something tomorrow which these big people, Habib ibn Mazahir, 75 years old, he's doing that. I am 13-year-old, will be doing the same thing. When Imam was reading the names of the Shuhada and telling everybody, they said that he was trying to put his fingers like the toes and see Imam. So Imam can see him and say, Ya Qasim, you are among the martyrs as well. He was that passionate about this Shahada. But on the other side, the mournful side is the heart of Imam Hussain, brothers and sisters. For Imam, he was not the son of his brother, but the orphan of his brother. Imam Hussain has seen the Mazlumiyah of Imam Hassan. And as an Imam, he's a guardian of a whole ummah, especially to orphans. And if the orphan is like Qasim ibn Hassan, you tell me that how Imam would be able to give the permission to Qasim to go and get martyred. They said on the day of Ashura, Qasim was following Imam. He was following so Imam can see. I don't know, but that's what they said. Maybe Imam was trying to avoid him, trying not to see him, because he knew when Qasim is going to come close to me, he would have a question that I cannot answer. Then they said that he came close to Imam. He started kissing Imam's hand. Not only his hands, but he started kissing his feet. Qasim started to kiss the feet of Imam Hussain. Why are you kissing Imam's feet, Qasim? Because I want to go and get martyred and my uncle is not letting me do that. Then they said that Imam gave the ijazah, but he gave the ijazah, he permitted him to go, he gave the permission Qasim to go, but before that he hugged Qasim. And in Maqatul is written, brothers and sisters, that the nephew and the uncle, they hugged each other and they cried so much that they passed out. Qasim ibn Hassan, the 13-year-old,
he was not able to fit in any armor. He was not able to fit in any helmet. Hussein had so many problems sending Qasim to Yazidis. He's the nephew, he is the orphan nephew, and one more thing, that he cannot fit in any armor. You know what it means, brothers and sisters, that anybody, any warrior go and fight, the arrow would pierce the armor and then the body of this warrior. For Qasim, it was nothing. The arrows coming from the enemies, piercing his body directly, till the person came and saw his head, which has no helmet, and he hit the head of Qasim, and Qasim fell down. At that time, Imam cannot control himself. They said Imam rushed towards Yazidis to help Qasim. He knew Qasim has fallen down. He knew he didn't have any armor, but then he reached there and Qasim was about to leave this world, brothers and sisters. They said when Imam was bringing the lash of Qasim, he was not able to lift it up. I don't know. Qasim was not that heavy. Qasim was not that tall. Maybe Imam was not able to carry it. I don't know what condition Qasim's body was in. They said that his feet was making the line on the sand of Karbala. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. ماتم حسین.
Hai hai Qasim, hai Qasim, hai hai Qasim, hai Qasim, hai hai Qasim, hai Qasim, hai hai Qasim, hai Qasim. قیدی بن کر پابند رسن لاشوں سے جو گزرے اہل حرم. ہر بی بی اپنے پیاروں سے ہوتی تھی ودا کر کے ماتم. ایک بی بی فاطمہ بنت حسن پامال بدن قاسم کی بہن. کسی ایک جا سے رخصت نہ ہوئی, کسی ایک جا سے رخصت نہ ہوئی. ٹکڑوں میں جو تھا بھائی کا بدن, کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہے قاسم, کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہے قاسم. تیری بھیڑ غریب نو نہیں بھولڑا, تیری بھیڑ غریب نو نہیں بھولڑا. تیرے قتل دا منظر ہے قاسم. ہائے ہائے قاسم, ہائے قاسم, ہائے ہائے قاسم, ہائے قاسم. کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہے قاسم, کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہے قاسم. کبھی صحرا دیکھ کے روتی تھی, کبھی غش کھا کے گر جاتی تھی. کبھی صحرا دیکھ کے روتی تھی, کبھی غش کھا کے گر جاتی تھی. پامال ہوا تھا بھائی جہاں, پامال ہوا تھا بھائی جہاں, اس خون پہ گر کر ہے قاسم. ہائے ہائے قاسم, ہائے قاسم, ہائے ہائے قاسم, ہائے قاسم. کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہے قاسم, کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہے قاسم. وچ رسیاں دے پابند ہوئی, نئی بھیڑ غریب دعوت سے کوئی. وچ رسیاں دے پابند ہوئی, نئی بھیڑ غریب دعوت سے کوئی. ہندے ہتھ آزاد تے مر جاندی, ہندے ہتھ آزاد تے مر جاندی. تیرا ماتم کر کر ہے قاسم. ہائے ہائے قاسم, ہائے قاسم, ہائے ہائے قاسم ہائے قاسم کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہائے قاسم کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہائے قاسم کس شان سے تم دولہا تھے بنے کس شان سے تھی بارات چلی کس شان سے تم دولہا تھے بنے کس شان سے تھی بارات چلی بیٹھی رہی دلہن حجرے میں بیٹھی رہی دلہن حجرے میں آئے نہ پلٹ کر ہائے قاسم ہائے ہائے قاسم ہائے قاسم ہائے ہائے قاسم ہائے قاسم کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہائے قاسم کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہائے قاسم فروان کہا بیٹا قاسم کہہ دینا دادی زہرا سے فروان کہا بیٹا قاسم کہہ دینا دادی زہرا سے غربت کی کمائی ٹکڑوں میں غربت کی کمائی ٹکڑوں میں بھیجی ہے سجا کر ہائے قاسم ہائے ہائے قاسم ہائے قاسم ہائے ہائے قاسم ہائے قاسم کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہائے قاسم کبھی اس ٹکڑے پر ہائے قاسم یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم السلام علیکم یا ابا عبداللہ وعلی ارواح التی حل بفنائک علیکم منی جمیعا سلام اللہ بدما بقیت و باقی و نہار ولجاہل الاخر الہدی بن لزیارتکم السلام علی الحسین وعلی علی بن الحسین وعلی اولاد الحسین وعلی اصحاب الحسین السلام علیکم یا ایوہ العبد السلام علیکم یا ابو الفضل العباس ابن امیر المومنین السلام علیکم یا ایوہ عبد الصالح مطل اللہ وعلی رسولہ واشہد انکا قد جہتا ونصحتا وصبرتا حتی آتاک یقین لعن اللہ الظالمین لکم من اولین والآخرین بدرجک الجحیم السلام علیکم یا غریب الغرباء السلام علیکم یا معین الضعفاء والفقراء السلام علیکم یا شمس الشموس السلام علیکم یا انیس النفوس السلام علیکم یا موسیٰ بن رضا ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام علیکم یا صاحب الزمان السلام علیکم یا خلیفۃ الرحمن السلام علیکم یا امام الانس والجان السلام علیکم یا مظہر الایمان السلام علیکم یا شریک القرآن حضرت جل اللہ تعالی فرجک وصل اللہ تعالی مخرجک وظہورک السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ اللہم صلی علی محمد وعلی محمد اللہم کل ولیک الحجت بن الحسن صلواتک علیہ وعلی آبائی فی هذه الساعات وفي كل ساعة ولي وحافظ وقائد وناصر ودليل وعينا حتى تسكنه وارزقاته وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين اللهم صل على محمد نعرہ حیدری